Ali, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you're having an amazing day. In today's video, I'm going to be giving you 10 lessons to be learned from the Squid Game. I'm so sorry you guys, I haven't been posting for a while, and that's just because of schoolwork and tests, and honestly, it's unbelievable. But I'm back here again today, so sit back and relax and listen to these lessons to be learned from the Squid Game. Enjoy! So, if you don't know already, the Squid Game is a South Korean mysterious survival program on Netflix in which a group of people put their life on the line in order to win the prize fund of 45.6 billion won. In addition, the creators of the game dehumanize the contestants by replacing their actual name with a number. If you haven't already watched it, I suggest you go ahead and do so because it's a really good series. There are quite a few spoilers in today's video, so come back when you have finished it. Now, let's get on to today's video. Lesson 1. Life is unfair. When all the 456 contestants signed up for the game, at no point were they told they would be putting their life on the line to entertain a bunch of bored, perverted, rich men. These contestants didn't have much in the first place. For example, number 456, a fully grown man, was divorced and had lost custody of his daughter and was living with his aging mum in a tiny apartment. These powerful people, or should I say psychopaths, have all the glitz and glamour life has to offer, yet they go out of their way to literally snatch the most precious things that these contestants have, which is hope and their lives from them. From the moment the game started, these contestants are reminded that they are less than. This is highlighted in color messaging. The people in control wore red whilst the other ones being controlled wore green. Unfortunately, we live in a society of the haves and have-nots, and no matter how hard the have-nots try to level up, there are always obstacles in their way. This is so evident in our society where teachers and nurses' salaries do not reflect their hard work. Some literally are on the verge of financially ruin. On the other hand, rich and powerful individuals are given tax breaks. They also use their wealth to lobby governments to make laws that are beneficial to them. Surely this cannot be fair, that a handful of rich people, some who gain wealth through illegal means, dictate how the majority is governed. Plus, most of the time they are not pursued when they fail to pay their taxes. Lesson 2. We must not let our fears control us. So, in the first game in Squid Game was the red light, green light game, and the aim of the game is to not move when the doll says red light. However, what happened was if someone moved, they would get shot, and then fear would take over the other players. They'd move, which resulted in them being shot. These players got shot because they were overcome by fear, and so they forgot the instructions of the game. Lesson 3. Create balance in your life. Sometimes we get so focused on getting the best grades, the best jobs, that we lose sight of what's important. We might neglect our mental health, we might neglect our friends or families. Number 456 was so focused on winning the money, and he did. But when he returned home, he found his mum's body. She died alone. So he's a billionaire with no support network. His mum is dead. His ex-wife and child moved away to America. In that moment, he realized that he's alone, and he has to deal with all the barbaric things he had to do to win the money. As a result, he became very depressed. Lesson 4. Ignore people who flex. How many times have you seen someone with something? It could be the latest phone or car, and you wished you had it, not knowing what they had to do to get it. Number 218 is the guy that everyone talks about in his town. He works in the city as a banker. He's this, he's that, he's rich. Yet he is in deep, and I mean deep financial mess. So when you go on YouTube or Instagram or even TikTok and see these people flexing, do not envy them, because you do not know what they are dealing with behind the scenes to keep up these fake lifestyles. Lesson 5. Enjoy the process of growth. Sometimes as we go through life, there will be ups and downs. Some people acknowledge that when they move to the next stage of life, disappointments are unavoidable because it's a new phase and we might experience things that are new. And through disappointments and failures, we learn to adjust and gain the tools needed for this phase. The honeycomb challenge was brilliant because it taught us that in life it will throw huge challenges at us, but how we deal with them will determine if we win, learn a lesson, or lose. In the honeycomb challenge, whilst the others were panicking and breaking their shape, which resulted in them being shot, number 456 enjoyed the process. He was patient with his honeycomb, he licked it and enjoyed it, and was able to get the umbrella shape out intact. Lesson 6. Teamwork is important. As our world becomes more interconnected, it's so important to remember that teamwork is important. In the tug-of-war game, number 456's team didn't win because they had the strongest people on it. In fact, number 456's team had all the people that society would look down on. His team had an old frail man and 3 females. He had the weakest team in terms of physical strength. However, because of their excellent teamwork, they were able to survive this round of the game. Lesson 7. Don't have any expectations. I know this sounds harsh, but your friends are humans, and if you have no expectations of them, then when they screw up, it will not hurt as much. Today's society revolves around the idea of the survival of the fittest, and sometimes people do not play as fairly as was the case of the marbles game. Number 218 looked poor Ali in the face and scammed him. This was hard for me to watch because Ali told number 218 about his situation. Ali had left Pakistan with his wife and his young child to start a new life in South Korea. From the moment Ali arrived in South Korea, it appears he has been the victim of people taking advantage of him. And guess what? Number 218 was no exception. He conned Ali out of his marbles, which resulted in Ali's death. Lesson 8. Learn from other people's mistakes. Learning from other people's mistakes enabled number 456 to win the money. Let's face it, number 456 was not the cleverest, he was not the strongest, and he was certainly not the fastest. Number 456 was very observant, and this served him well. Do not go through life so focused on yourself that you fail to acknowledge what's going on around you. Lesson 9. Having a PhD or degree does not guarantee success. I am a firm believer that common sense and grit is far more important to success than a degree. Number 218 was very academic, yet he ended up in the same place with number 456, who was the opposite of him. And to top it off, number 456 ended up winning the game. My advice is to not be intimidated by people who have lots of letters after their names. Work on your talents and never give up. Success is a journey, not a destination. Lesson 10. Be kind. When I say to be kind, I mean be kind without any expectations. When most players ignored the old man, number 456 always had time for him. I remembered when the old man wet himself because he was scared, and number 456 removed his jacket and tied it around the old man's waist to hide the fact that he had wet himself. Later on in the series, number 456 found out that this fragile old man that he helped was incredibly rich and was the creator of this whole game. Be kind to everyone who comes across your path, even the ones that you think don't deserve an ounce of kindness. So that's it. Lessons that can be learned from the Squid Game. Comment down below some of the lessons you learned from the series. That's all for now. Bye!